we prepare about our first year in office. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Dumaguete by the numbers. Our State of the City Address 2026. Please play the video.
(1948), the year Dumaguete became a city. A city covering only 3,362 hectares of land, the smallest among all the cities and municipalities of Negros Oriental. 78 years later, those 3,362 hectares are now home to more than 140,000 people. And on
July 1, 2025,
a new chapter began under a new brand of leadership. Serbisyong Sigurado. Since then, we have measured our work in many ways. These are the numbers of our first year, and this is the story behind them. Infrastructure. Thousands of Dumaguetnons depend on our roads to get where they need to go. Barangay Daro. Under the new administration, a new concrete road was constructed going to Ace Hospital. Today, patients, families, and motorists can travel through a smoother and safer road on their way to the hospital. And the same need for better roads was addressed in other communities as well. The Farm to Market Road in Barangay Batingil. And the road going to Fortune Homes in Barangay Pulang Tubig. And the work continues. Road concreting is now ongoing in Purok-Riboma, Barangay Banilad. In Barangay Balugo. At the Candaoay Bridge approach. And in Barangay Banilad. And more underway. And this administration remains committed to addressing every road problem in our communities. Along Rizal Boulevard, a long-standing problem had been left unresolved. A previous swimming pool project was never completed, leaving a 2,435 square meter area filled with stagnant water for years. Now, the city has rehabilitated the area, covered the stagnant water, and transformed it into a commercial area for the city's ambulant vendors. More than 360 vendors and service providers now earn their livelihood here. This includes 232 massage therapists and 134 tempura, balot, souvenir, and other vendors. When the night comes, the difference is even clearer. What was once an unused area now comes alive at night with customers and tourists filling the space. After years of stagnant water, the area is now clean and safe again. Every day, 70 tons of garbage are collected by the city. Before any of that waste can be properly processed, it first has to be segregated. But for some time, the materials recovery facility had a serious problem. There was simply not enough space for the volume of waste coming in each day. Without enough space, segregation became more difficult and the operation of the facility suffered. To address this, the city constructed the new Materials Recovery Facility Building 2. Now, the additional facility provides more space for proper storage and segregation, helping improve the day-to-day operations of the MRF. With 70 tons of garbage collected every day, better segregation means a cleaner Dumaguete. For many locals and visitors, blind massage has long been part of the Dumaguete experience. But for some time, our visually impaired massage practitioners were left without a proper place to work. More than 30 practitioners were affected, putting their daily livelihood at risk. To address this, the city built a dedicated blind massage facility along Rizal Boulevard. Today, our blind massage practitioners are back at work in their new and improved facility. They have always been willing and able to work. What they lacked was a proper place to do it, and the city was able to provide that for them. Near the city engineering office at Barangay Loo, the old Tocino County area had become neglected and disorganized. Napasagdan ug nahimo na lang og tambakan sa basura. So the city moved to clean up and reorganize the area. Tocino County was then transformed into a proper parking space. Food vendors previously occupying the area were also relocated to a better location along Rizal Boulevard where they could continue their businesses. Today, the new parking area can accommodate 24-wheeled vehicles and at least 100 motorcycles. What was once neglected and filled with garbage is now clean, organized, and put to proper use.
The city also improved the working spaces of two important government agencies, the Department of Interior and Local Government and the Commission on Audit. The first floor of City Hall, beside the Bureau of Fire Protection, was renovated and maximized to provide both offices with new and more functional workspaces, better offices for stronger accountability and governance. For years, the Office for Senior Citizens Affairs was located in Barangay Daro near the Silliman Ballfield. For many senior citizens, the old location was simply too far from the other city offices they needed to visit. So the city moved the Senior Citizens Office to a new and more accessible location along Rizal Boulevard, right beside the City Social Welfare Office. Today, our senior citizens can get the services they need in a place that is easier to reach and more convenient. From the very start, this administration made health a priority. Under the previous administration, the City Health Center had a budget of only 23.28 million. Today, that budget has increased to 37.25 million. That is a 60.02% increase in funding for City Health. And within just 15 days of assuming office, the City Health Center was transferred to a bigger and better location in Talay. A 60% increase in the health budget sends a clear message. The health of our people comes first.
We now turn to a concern that reaches every family in Dumaguete and one that remains a priority of this administration. Health. For years, the City Health Center operated with only 5 doctors, and not all of them were available every day. With limited doctors on duty, many Dumaguetnots had difficulty getting the medical attention they needed. This had to change. So the city hired 7 additional medical doctors, increasing the number at the City Health Center from 5 to 12. Today, more doctors are available to attend to our patients. That means more consultations can be handled, patients can be examined and treated faster, and more Dumaguetnots can get the medical care they need when they need it. Sama sa atong mga doktor, kulang usab ang mga nurses sa City Health Center. Before, only 22 nurses were available to serve the hundreds of patients every day. Tungod kay kulang ang mga nurses, dugay maatiman ang mga pasyente. So the city hired 18 additional nurses. Today, 40 nurses now serve at the City Health Center, working alongside our doctors to care for more patients every day. More nurses, better care for our people. With more doctors and more nurses on duty, we can finally give our people the medical care they deserve. For years, the old City Health Center operated with limited space and limited services. Tungod niini, dili tanang pasyente ma-accommodate o matagaan sa serbisyo nga ilang gikinahanglan. This had to change. So the city constructed a new state-of-the-art City Health Center built to accommodate more patients and provide a wider range of medical services. Today, the new City Health Center is better than ever and ready to serve. More services are now available under one roof, including outpatient services, line-in and delivery services, animal bite treatment, minor surgical procedures, pharmacy services, laboratory services, sanitary services, medico-legal services, and other medical and administrative services. Today, Dumaguete finally has a City Health Center that can keep up with the needs of its people. More and more Dumaguetnoans are living with diabetes, and for many families, the cost of insulin and supplies can be difficult to sustain. To help ease that burden, the city launched a program providing free insulin and diabetic supplies to qualified residents. Since the program began a year ago, the city has distributed 4,680 insulin pens, 3,600 lancets, and 12,600 insulin pen needles. These supplies have benefited hundreds of Dumaguetnoans with diabetes. For these beneficiaries, the insulin and supplies they need to manage their diabetes are now provided by the city free of charge. Para sa mga apektadong pamilya, this means one less thing to worry about every day. A better Dumaguete also means a cleaner, greener, and more livable city. We now turn to another major priority of this administration: the environment. For years, the materials recovery facility had been used more like an open dump site than a proper waste facility. Garbage piled up, producing foul odors and creating health concerns for nearby communities. Accumulated waste can attract rats, flies, and mosquitoes, increasing the risk of illness for people living in the area. This was a problem the city could no longer leave unattended. So the city rehabilitated the MRF and improved its operations to prevent waste from piling up. Today, the facility is cleaner, more organized, and better managed, and the communities around it are better protected. At the materials recovery facility, another serious environmental concern had to be addressed. In May 2025, an inspection by the DENR found 7 violations of the facility's environmental compliance certificate. These included improper waste handling, lack of a wastewater discharge permit, and other environmental compliance issues. The DENR later found that the pyrolysis machine, plastic extruder, and densifier were also operating without the required permits. But the concern went beyond permits. The operation of the pyrolysis machine, plastic extruder, and densifier was shut down. No waste processing operation is worth putting the health of nearby communities at risk. At the same time, the city is now looking at safer and environmentally compliant alternatives for managing our waste, because the solution to one problem should never create another. As Dumaguete grew, so did the amount of septage waste that the city had to manage. But after years of daily use, the equipment at the city septage treatment plant had deteriorated. The result was a serious backlog. More than 1,000 homes and commercial establishments were still waiting for dislodging services. And when septage waste is not properly collected and treated, it becomes a serious health and sanitation concern for the entire city. So the city purchased new dislodging equipment and immediately worked through the pending request. And we are proud to say that within just 1 year, the backlog of more than 1,000 requests was completely cleared. Today, the city septage treatment plant is ready to respond to new dislodging requests. Gikan sa sobra iskalibo nga backlog, karon zero na. When heavy rains came, several of our busiest roads were regularly flooded. The National Highway fronting Freedom Park, Flores Avenue in Barangay Look, the National Highway from Eterna Funeral Chapel to the Provincial Hospital, and Real Street fronting the Ceres Terminal. In some areas, the water could rise as high as knee level. One problem the city could immediately address was clogged canals and roadside drainage. Under the present administration, declogging became a weekly city operation. Every week, our dedicated city crews clear our canals and drainage lines so rainwater can flow more freely. We cannot stop the rain, but we can make sure our canals and drainage are ready for it. For years, more than 16,100 square meters of land in Candauay served as an open dump site. Garbage piled up and the foul smell became a constant problem for nearby residents. But that is no longer the future we want for this area. The city is now rehabilitating the old dump site and turning the area into a clean and green public park. Residual waste from the MRF is now brought to the sanitary landfill in Bayawan City instead of being dumped here. And we are bringing life back to the land. Across the MRF, an old dump site, the city has already planted 1,455 fruit-bearing and native tree seedlings. The work is still ongoing. What was once 16,100 square meters of open dump site is slowly becoming a green public space that the community can enjoy. And soon, we hope to open it to the people of Dumaguete. Managing the city's growing waste requires the right equipment. For some time, the ENRO and the MRF lacked the vehicles needed for their daily operations. Kung kulang ang salakyanan, maapektuhan usab ang pagkolekta o pagtubala sa atong basura. So the city provided new vehicles to strengthen our operations. 2 brand new mini compactors, 1 service vehicle, and 1 garbage truck. These vehicles are now on the ground, helping our crews collect and manage waste more efficiently. These new vehicles mean faster collection, better waste management, and a cleaner Dumaguete. For families who need help most, the city must be ready to respond. We now turn to social welfare services. For many families, getting sick can also mean facing expenses they simply cannot afford. Karong panahon na, dili lang palaliton ang nimahal, apil na ang tambal o pagpahospital.
To help ease that burden, the city provided over 38.27 million in direct assistance to more than 32,000 beneficiaries across all 30 barangays. This included financial, medical, hospital, laboratory, burial, PWD, and OFW assistance.
The city's assistance also extended to families affected by fire. A total of 22 fire victims received 101,000 in financial assistance to help them recover. And beyond financial assistance, the city also distributed rice to more than 32,000 beneficiaries across all 30 barangays. In our most difficult moments, it is good to know that the city is here for us. When war broke out between the United States and Iran, the crisis in the Middle East disrupted the world's oil supply. And even though we are thousands of kilometers away, we felt the impact here in Dumaguete. Fuel prices in the city reached as high as 98 pesos to 101 pesos per liter. For our pedicab drivers, every increase at the pump meant less income to bring home to their families. And if fuel prices continued to rise, transportation costs could eventually affect commuters as well. So the city acted. Dumaguete became the first local government unit in the Negros Island region to provide its own fuel subsidy for tricycle and easy ride drivers. The city allocated 10 million for the program, providing qualified drivers with a daily subsidy of 100 pesos in fuel assistance. Bisan itaas ang presyo sa gasolina, the city made sure na ang plete wala mo saka. Our senior citizens have spent a lifetime working, raising families, and helping build the Dumaguete we know today. And as they grow older, their years should be recognized and celebrated. So the city instituted longevity awards to honor our senior residents. This past year, 267 senior citizens have received longevity awards and financial tokens from the city. For the city, it is our way of saying thank you to our lolos and lolas. For every family, the safety and future of our children come first. We now turn to education. Recent shootings and other violent incidents in schools around the country have raised serious concerns about the safety of our children. Every parent who sends a child to school expects the same thing, that their child will be safe. But some of our elementary schools in the city had no proper perimeter fences, leaving our young students vulnerable. So the city built secure perimeter fences around these schools. Our children go to school to learn, and our job is to help make sure they can do that safely.
Mula nung March 1, nung nag-monitor tayo ng ating heat index dito sa Pilipinas, nakapagtala na tayo sa Virac ng 47 degrees Celsius. Ito ay
Nagkadugay, nagkainit na gyud ang panahon. And inside our classrooms, our students feel that heat every day. Tungod sa kainit, lisod kaayo para sa mga bata na mag-focus sa klase. So the city installed several new air conditioning units in our classrooms to give our students a more comfortable place to learn. Now, our students can focus on their lessons. Dili na sa kainit. Daycare is where education begins. But several daycare centers in Dumaguete had already grown old and were badly in need of repair. The poor condition of these facilities affected both the children who study there and the teachers who cared for them. So the city began renovating and rehabilitating 11 daycare centers across Dumaguete. More than 2 million was allocated for these projects. From Batingkil, Banilad, Bagakay, Bahumpandan, Cantili, Mutong, Piapi, and Poblacion Otso, these daycare centers are finally getting the much-needed repairs they needed. Our young learners and our teachers needed better daycare centers, and now they have them.
Aksyon! Balita!